Hey, I'm Wes, the sewing machine repair guy. Have you ever had a problem where you broke a plastic piece on a sewing machine and don't know how to fix it, can't find a replacement, and now you're in a pickle because you can't find the part, not even on eBay. You can't find even another machine because they don't exist. And now you have to try and fix this plastic part without any pieces to replace it with. Well, today we're going to try and see if we can succeed at using a method that I'll show you here in a few minutes. All right, so now we have the bottom off of our serger and we have a broken hinge right here. So this hinge is missing a plastic piece to continue. So if you look at the other side right here, this hinge is a complete circle that encases our hinge rod right here. And then this side is missing part of that circle. This has been like this for a while. You can tell there's some wearing. Also, the rod has some wearing around where the hinge was operating there incorrectly. So here we go. We're going to do a plastic repair on a sewing machine. This is especially useful for some vintage machines where there aren't any parts. In this case, there also aren't parts for this machine, and it's a newer machine. I've done these types of repairs before. It isn't my first time, however, it is the first time doing this exact repair to make a structural component on a hinge. So we're going to see how well it holds up and see if this works. If it doesn't work, then this machine is not going to be very useful in the end. So the pieces we're going to need for this, we're going to need the rod, which is our hinge. There is a spring that goes on here, but in this case we just need the rod because we have to form our plastic around the rod. We have baking soda, regular out of the kitchen baking soda, and super glue. So in this case I'm using BSI cyanoacrylate glue. Super glue, it's just super glue, but if you look for this kind of stuff on the internet, you'll be able to find it, or at your local store. Baking soda cures that glue immediately. There's a chemical reaction that takes place and it cures this glue immediately. So I want this rod to be inside this plastic piece when I form a new plastic piece around it. So how am I going to do that without getting it to stick? Well, the other thing that you need is some tape. This is regular Scotch tape. Same type stuff we've used for Christmas presents. So pull off a little bit of tape. And I'm not taping it to it, I'm going backwards, so the sticky side is out. What this is going to let me do, in theory, I haven't done this yet, in theory, what it's going to do is it'll allow me to mold the plastic around this, but the plastic won't stick to the rod. So I want this kind of tight on here, and it's not working with me. Okay, so I've got my tape on here. You can see it moves easily because it is not actually taped to it. And having the sticky side on the outside will help us in two ways here, because now I'm going to install this where it normally goes into this hinge. And I think what I want to do is snap it in there if possible, because the tape needs to be in there. Okay, so here's a little bit closer of an angle. So what you see here is my hinge and my cellophane tape going around it. can see I'm going through the other hinge, and what that does is it helps to align that bar that's going through that forms the hinge so that we are in alignment. And now what I have to do is I have to make some plastic. And like I said, we're using our two ingredients to make this plastic. We're using super glue and some regular old baking soda out of the kitchen. Don't tell my wife. Now that I've sprinkled some on there, I'm just going to take a Q-tip here and make sure that we got the baking soda all over it. And then before you do more, you want to clean off all that baking soda powder that's there. Now after that first layer, you can see I've got a buildup of new plastic there, starting to form that hinge. We want to make sure that we're getting past the hinge on both sides, because what we're going to end up doing is filing this down. So I want the edges to be past it because we're going to file it down to the right shape. This is after the second layer. See, it forms kind of a translucent looking, almost clear plastic. And we're building it up till we get about the same height as we have on the other hinge, and then we're going to, at that point, file it down so that it's the right size. And a little test here, that hinge still moves in there because that tape is protecting it, protecting that rod. Okay, after this layer, look at the buildup there. Still need some more. I might also want to flip it so that gravity is helping me the other direction as well. So I think that's what we're going to do next. But we're almost there. Alright, I would call that the final layer. And we are going to clean this up and it's going to look beautiful. And it's going to hold, in theory. Won't look exactly like that one, but we're going to get it as close as we can. Okay, I've got a file set that I'm going to use. I'm going to try and cut this off with a file. Okay, once you get down past the super glue, you end up with just tape. Also use some sandpaper. we're gonna see if I can get this tape out of here, because it ain't sanding very well, I'll tell you that much. Now the only thing about pulling the tape out is that I may have more clearance than I wanted. We will see. Actually, I'm very happy with that. That's pretty amazing. So after a little bit of sanding, I mean, you know, it's not perfect, but that's a lot better than, okay, let's get in focus here. Do I need to do that? It's not perfect, but I mean, see how that moves? It's definitely a lot better than what it was to begin with. So we're going to give that a try, see if it holds up to the spring pressure. Okay, let's see if everything lines up. Okay, all right, we're getting in there. Almost there. Look at that. We have a hinge that works now. Okay, and now we got a clip to put back on, and this part is done. Hope you enjoyed this video. You came right along with me as I did this. This really was the first time that I tried this on a sewing machine, and it worked out pretty well, so I'm glad it did. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know, do the like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. But if you really want to support the channel, take a look down in the description. I've got some things down there that you can help support the channel so I can get more machines, do more reviews, and have some more good content for you.